This is a really important comment to read, because this is the kind of approach that a lot of us are dealing with when it comes to ethnic Muslim men. So go back and read this chain of comments. It's a discussion around looking after the in-laws and obeying the husband, etc. When someone wants to be obeyed like this, they were basically raised like Pharaoh. Nobody that has a calm, clean and fair heart and mind, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promotes through justice, morality, integrity, right? No man that has that talks like this. And many women have been gaslit and coerced into believing that, well, he is right because he's using Islamic context. Nobody with a clean heart, mind and soul uses Quranic evidence to crush you and control you. They use it to help you understand with love and with kindness. They don't use their rights or what they have been given by Allah as a stick to beat other people with. That is not the sign of a good person. These are the kind of people that manipulate and coerce the women. These are the women that you see running around. They've got 5 kids behind them. They're miserable. They hate their life. These are the same couples that are sitting at a dinner table and they're both just looking at the floor, just waiting for dinner to be over, with the 5 kids sitting at the table. Because these are the same men that will say, you can't refuse to sleep with me. I don't care that you're in pain, you're not well, we had an argument, you're not in the mood. These are the same men. Sick in the head. And this is why I do these videos, because these guys' parents, you failed our community. ये बात एक आप समझ लो. मैं बड़ों से नहीं डरती. जो इस तरह के उनके बच्चे होते हैं, उनसे क्या डरना? If you created a child that talks and thinks like this in public, शर्म आनी चाहिए आपको. और अल्लाह करे हम आगे जाके इस तरह का साइकिल फिर ना हम कंटिन्यू करें. Because if my son was to talk like this, I would be so deeply ashamed. कि इस तरह फ़िरौन की तरह तुम लोगों को बताओगे, ये मेरा हक है, तुम ऐसे करो, मैंने कहा है तो तुम ऐसे करो. You know, people that don't get their rights, they've been advised in Islam to pray and urge to Allah. And this is why the definition and the translation that we get from Arabic to Urdu is completely wrong. It's completely wrong. The way you obey a man is by picking the one whose mission you respect to that level that you understand that you're going to be his partner within achieving that mission. Not a Pharaoh Dajjal who stands there and tells you, do this, that's what you've been told to do, end of story. Regardless of your opinion, regardless of your emotions, regardless of your thought process, there's no discussion around it. That is not a man of God. And I beg my women that if you're with a psycho that talks like this, whether you've been with him for 5 months, 5 years, 15 years, you've been given a right by Allah to get away from people who oppress and coerce and control. This is not justice. This is a psychological illness. This is when religion is weaponized and given to the jahil. This is what happens. Because women are not equal human beings in their eyes. They see obedience in the slavery mindset, because Pakistan is less than 100 years old, guys. How the slaves treated our ancestors is how they define obedience in our country. Islamic obedience is a completely different frame of mind. Because first and foremost, as the woman, you need to pick a man you actually respect to obey. That's a part of your job. You don't just pick any lallu panju that comes along and start obeying him. Does that make sense? Somebody who's unqualified and then you're obeying them and then wondering why your life is so hard. इस तरह के घटिया कीचड़ आदमियों से दूर हो जाओ, कुछ नहीं होता, मर नहीं जाओगी. Yeah, people are, oh, shadi, shadi, shadi. You know what? The other day, I was at dinner at a family member's house. And they're like, beta, gabru jawan, tum gabru jawan ke saath shadi karo. Mainu end mila, ovek, like showing me pictures, talking about it, blah, blah, blah. And I looked at her and I said, she doesn't know my current situation, obviously, but because I keep those things very private. But I turned around and said, आपकी बेटियां शादी होके खुश हैं, शादी करके खुश हैं वो. Silence on the dining table. Complete silence on the dining table, because even they don't realize they've been culturally twisted to believe that being with a man, any man, is better than being on your own. Wrong. Completely wrong. Because women on their own have such a sense of femininity and freedom. They live their life fully. They enjoy everything they do. Their interactions with people are calm and wonderful. People actually want to be around them. They get up in the morning and do what they want to do during that day. And for our Pakistani men, us living freely and calmly and happily, it pinches them. It burns them. They want to be the slave master in the home and the woman the slave. And I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about the ones that think like this. And once they have someone who they're the master and they have a slave, they get a kick out of that. They feel a sense of power and achievement. And if that is not someone that's mentally ill, I don't know who is. You obey me, you obey the husband, end of story. Regardless of the things that you see, the things that you feel, the discussions you might want to have. Because a real man is genuinely concerned with his woman's concerns. Remember that, ladies. No guy who is genuinely has love and care for you and is a decent human being ignores the things that concern you. Don't become a slave to this kind of Pharaoh, Dajjal, psychopath.